be honest, we have a peculiar situation because people who made votes, they were equal, and so I had to flip the coin to make a decision. So it will be dance with a mysterious lady. You turn your head towards the Arcanian beauty and offer her your hand, taking care not to rush your movements. A moment later, her fingers gracefully come to rest in yours. The masked lady's touch feels electric against your skin. You walk together to the center of the hall where the other couples are already dancing. You bow and she makes a courtesy. Her hands are incredibly thin. They seem so delicate you fear you might snap them if you squeeze too hard. You adjust to her steps, counting the rhythm of the music. Your lady for the dance is an Arcanian, noble born to rule, yet this is a dance where you must take the lead. As you walk around her, your eyes catch an embroidered ornament on the arm of her dress. You spy many thin emerald threads, all interwoven into a pattern of interlocking snakes. This young woman is Octavia Milanides, daughter to the Archduke of your home province. The minuet ends. You bow to the lady and offer to accompany her wherever she chooses before the next dance. Why? Then be so kind as to accompany me for another dance. Before you know it, the night is almost over. Octavia will not let you go. She does not accept another invitation until she has danced with you 3 times. You spot Thomas in the crowd during a break. He catches your eye and salutes you with a wine glass. Judging from his lopsided grin, Otton must have had him removed from the dance floor. But any concern for your friend is forgotten when you see the beautiful Octavia approaching you again. Okay. That's great. We get some will. You have lived now a year in the capital. Eterna has been shaken by what is now known as the trial of the 50. 50 people stand trial at once, all prominent members of several political circles. They are accused of treason and conspiracy against the crown. The accused spoke in favor of reducing the power of the nobles and granting more rights to the common estate. There was no mention of rebellion, yet those words alone were enough to indict them. Every session of the trial is open to the public. It is a show of powder made to discourage people from forming such circles ever again. You attend one of these sessions. The 50 face their verdict: forced labor in the mines of Magra and Illyria for regular members, and true death of their leaders, 6 men and 1 woman. Their public execution takes place in the central square of Eterna. You remember the woman. Her name was Annie Serene. She made a speech before her execution. A young woman, not too tall, her face almost plain, with long bands over her eyes. She looks calm, even at this moment. You cannot believe she is about to leave this world forever. Annie Serene takes a look around before she speaks. Her voice is quiet, but you are close enough to hear every single word. She says she is happy to give her lives fighting for the rights of the people. Her cause will never die. Annie claims others like her will continue their work in hiding, for their cause is right and just. She is dragged away to the others. They put a sack over her head and tighten a noose around her neck. A hand yanks on the lever and the 7 dangle in the air. Their feet tremble at first, then grow still. There are gasps and cries of discontent in the crowd. Mm. Your studies at the Imperial College may have begun with luxurious party, but soon you settle into a routine of lesson after lesson. Alone with dozens of other future judges, you spend hours listening to lectures in spacious college halls with high ceilings. You study imperial law and legislation, analyzing every technicality and interpretation. The subject only gets tougher, and the instructors grow ever more demanding as your studies continue. Yet law is not the only thing you study. There are other disciplines as well, such as rhetoric and orthography. A true judge must have a perfect command of both the spoken and written word. Washing dark blue ink off your fingers becomes an indelible part of your daily routine. Of all your classes, you find the fencing lessons particularly exciting. Every lesson covers your body with more cuts and bruises and makes your muscles ache from exertion, but your childhood dream is worth it. Then finally, there comes a short break in your studies, a handful of days for rest and recreation. You meet Thomas to discuss how you're going to spend this time. You're having with me tonight. No, excuse me, Brante. We'll be paying a visit our man to Baronet Croix. It's time to learn a thing or two about how we do things in the military. My friend looks very kind and pleased with himself when he says this. With a sign, you change out of your college uniform and into your best clothes and follow him. Thomas rushes you to a two-story house somewhere in a noble neighborhood in the capital. Its windows are open and you can hear people talking over each other. The house sitting room is filled with young people, at least 2 dozen men, almost all of them academy cadets. In the middle of the sitting room is an armchair, and in this armchair is a gentleman wearing the uniform of the Imperial Legion officer and smoking a pipe. His thick hair falls over his large observant eyes. Baron Croix welcomes the two of you with a slight nod and continues his speech while everyone listens respectfully. As I was saying, young man, I firmly believe that days when all military glory of the empire belonged to the Archean dynasties are long gone. Human nobles have been serving the emperor, at least as well as the Archean nobles, for a long time now. Still, the Archeans keep acting like their origins are more important than honor and service to the crown. Take the Milanese dynasty, for example. The Archdukes of Magra. Long ago, their leader Charles Milanides mounted a rebellion against the rule of the Tempest and Twins' faith. He sacked all life from his own land, doomed thousands of his own subjects, and yet the Milanides dynasty still rules over Magra, like nothing ever happened, huh? Then suddenly Sir El Croix flashes a cunning grin. I think this calls for a test of your strategic thinking, young man. But first, let me refresh your memory on the rebellion of Charles Milanides. It may seem surprising, but we have him to thank for our current status. He was the first to ennoble humans, an act of unprecedented insolence. But it gave the rebellious duke immense support in his province. He risked his own reputation and title to make himself stronger, thanks to humans, and in that he succeeded. No one had ever dared challenge the rule of the Arcanians and Tempests before, but the rebellion of Magra changed everything. Humans became a part of the ability. We got a taste of the power only the Arcanians could wield before. And unless I'm mistaken, most nobles in the Empire these days are human. Why, we outnumber the members of the Arcane dynasties dozens of times over. So, Charles Milanides had complete rule and control of the lands of Magra. He had the loyalty of his ennobled human subjects, and he had the loyalty of mages and witches who fled to Anisotia, the only place in the empire where they could hide from the church. The Archduke of Magra had everything he needed to win, and yet two pivotal changes brought him down. First of all, he cast a magic spell that incinerated the entire province. It suddenly stopped the imperial legions in their tracks, but the population of Magra would no longer side with Tsar Milanides after that. Second, the clergy struck at the rebellious duke with the power of Athens. His magic was gone and his mandate was no more. Many fled. But as you know, it still took the empire an entire month of siege before the palace in Anisote was taken. After the rebellion of Magra, the empire changed drastically, and most importantly, humans finally received their lawful right to be noble. And I'd like to stress that in particular, ennobled not by birth but by virtue of their own knowledge and talent. History, young man, is more than just a memory of the past. It is also a lesson for our future. I believe that part of our history proves my point. And now it is, tell me, if you were among the imperial strategists during the rebellion, what would you have done? How would you have fought an enemy as powerful as Charles Melanides? With this, Sir L. Croix leans back in his armchair and takes a pull from his pipe, while the candidates start discussing. Some take no time to say they cannot believe Sir L. Croix thinks humans were first ennobled by serving the rebellious duke. Others say the prolonged palace siege might have been a mistake, and storming the palace would have been a better choice. Soon ideas start flying. Some cause only laughter, while others lead to debate. They are discussing the past of Anisotia, the past of your hometown. You cannot possibly stay silent right now. If you were in command of the Imperial legions back then, what would you have done? Based on what you know about the rebellion of Magra, you see three potential strategies. The first involves calling upon the twins' miracles to rob Milanides of magic and render him powerless. The second entails putting your faith in discipline and well of the army for a frontal assault. The third means throwing out the siege while making the enemy's life as hard as possible through cunning. Which of these strategies would you have chosen? Rely on the will of the twins, you would have placed your faith in the power of the twins. Press for a decisive assault, rely on the strength and valor of the imperial legions would have been the best choice, or lay siege to the palace. You would have starved the city into submission and seized it by cunning. Make your choice.